right, so I want to introduce you to this wonderful family. I received a notice from the grandmother of this wonderful family that she would like to put together a little family collage. And she wants to do so by using all of the portraits that you see here. So these are her grandchildren. All of these individuals here are cousins. And what we're going to do today is take a look at things like patterns and characteristics to help us put these family members in a particular order. Now, there's a reason that we're doing this, of course, but for now, I just want you to focus on the pictures that you see and us trying to figure out a good order for these family members to go in when grandmother does her family collage. So we're going to start first by looking at what some of the characteristics are that are in these photos. Okay, so I'm going to make a list of some things that I see, and we're going to talk a little bit about what those characteristics could maybe mean. One of the things I notice is that each of the bodies has a different size. The bodies also have different patterns. Okay. Another thing that I notice is the smile on each of them, or frown, because some of them do have frowns. There's mouth shapes because they are different. I also notice the legs on each of them, but keep in mind, if you look around, it looks like all of the legs on these portraits are all the same. Okay, so since they're all the same, I don't think it would be necessary for us to mention them because we can't tell the difference. We also see hairs. It looks like another characteristic that might be different amongst them is the number of hands. And then if we go a little bit further looking at these pictures, we'll notice that on the hands, there's also fingers, and those finger numbers are different too. Now, with these characteristics, what we can hopefully do is put these family members in a specific order, the way that grandmother would like to go ahead and do her collage. We can pick any of these characteristics to start. I would possibly start with maybe hairs on the head. So let's go ahead and look for how many of our family members have one hair on their head. And I only chose hair on the head because I went from top to bottom. This one has one hair, this one has one hair, and this one has one hair. Now, what's interesting is those are the only three that have one hair on their head. Look at what ended up happening too. They also have the same body color or body design. The body itself is not the same size, but the body color is the same. Their faces are also exactly the same. So that's something we should maybe keep in mind. If we do one hair there, let's look at our family members that have two hairs. So I see two hairs here. I'll start moving these over. I see there's two hairs here. Bring these down. And I see two hairs here. So now if I look at these individuals, I'll notice something too. These two have the same face, same amount of hairs, and same body design. They don't have the same body size. This one is unique though, so that's something to maybe keep in mind here. Now, if we continue, if we did one hair, then we did two hairs, and we should probably check for 3 hairs if possible. And so if we look, I only see one with 3 hairs. So I'll put that one here. So really don't have anything to compare that one to just yet. That one's kind of on its own. So now let's move to 4 hairs. This one, 1, 2, 4. I'll come this way, I guess. Let's see. We have 4 hairs here. Okay. And that looks like that's about it for 4-haired individuals. I guess we'll move along and look at 5. Move all these out the way. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one has 5 hairs. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. This one has 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one has 5 hairs. Okay. And I think that might be it for our 5 hairs. And of course, now we can move to 6. 6 hairs. It looks like this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one has 6 hairs also. And it looks like that's it. Now, hopefully what you're probably noticing is the ones with the same number of hairs also pretty much have the same body design. And so that makes it a little faster for us to organize these two. It looks like this is 4, this is 8, this is 8, and then this would be 7 and 7. So all we've done at this point is organize our people, our family members, our grandchildren by hairs, the number of hairs on their head. You learn about patterns and organization way back in elementary school in math, and in a lot of your other subjects too. And it's important to always pay attention to patterns because they can tell you a lot about how things are organized. And so we have our single hairs here, double hairs, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now let's take it a step further and let's look at what else we can figure out by looking at each little grouping. I notice when I look at these that they all have 1 hair. They all have the same face. They have different body sizes, but not only that, they have different numbers of arms. So if I were going to put these in order, I could put them in order by the number of arms they have, and I could rank them from least number of arms to greatest number of arms. And so I'm going to do that right now. I'll put this one first since it has 1 arm. I'll put this one second since it has 2 arms. And I'll put this one third since it has 3. Now, what else is interesting is the number of fingers also change. And so we're going to take a look at that in a minute too as we get a little bit more information. We also can see that the bodies get bigger as we go down. So 1 hand to 3 hands, the bodies also get larger. Now let's look at our people with 2. Okay, so let's do the same with this one. Let's rank them by number of arms. That means I would put this one first. I put this one second. And then I would put this one third. Now I'm going to keep moving these out of the way. Put these down here. Now, if I do this, let's see if we start seeing any other patterns. 1 arm, 1 arm, 1 finger, 2 fingers. Okay. 2 arms, 2 arms. 1, 2, 3. 3 fingers, 4 fingers. 3 arms, 3 arms. Let's look. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And so when we look at this, we go 10, 11. 3, 4. 1, 2. So there's some patterns that we're starting to see here in our family members. Let's move to our 3-hair guy. He has 2 arms. We don't have a person with 3 hairs with 1 arm. So based on what I see at this point, I'm not going to put this person up here. I'm going to put this person here. Because if I look at it carefully, the body sizes are about the same. The number of arms are the same. Number of fingers, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. So we are still within that same pattern that we were looking at before. Now let's move to our 4-haired people. Put these over here. Our 4-haired people. We have, again, we don't have any more 1 arms. They just kind of disappeared. We have 2 arms and we have 3 arms. So I guess I'm going to go along again. 2 arms, 3 arms. Let's see if it still follows our pattern of numbers. 5, 2, 4, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. So we are still following that. We have a blank space here. Maybe there's someone that needs to go there. We'll have to check and see in just a minute because this space is still empty. Now we're going to find our 5 hairs, which I think are all the way over here. 3, 4, 5. And we're going to do the same thing. 2 arms and 3. Okay. And again, if you're counting now at this point, hopefully you're starting to notice that it should follow. This was 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we are still following our same pattern. Okay. Now I'm going to move to my 6 hairs, which should be these 3, 6. We still back arms, 2 arms and 3 arms. And I still see that same pattern. 1 hair, 2 hair, 3, 4, 5, 6 hairs. 1 hair, 2 hair. We don't have someone here. 4, 5, and 6. So whoever goes here should have 3 hairs, most likely. Also, our number of fingers should continue to increase as we keep going along. We have the 2 and the 8, 2 and the 8, 2 and the 8, 2 and the 8, and then this number, 1, 2, 3, oh, no 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we are still following some kind of pattern. Now we're going to move to our 7 hairs, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got our 2 arms and our 3 arms. Still, once again, following the pattern, we're adding on another finger each time. And then finally, our 2 arms and our 3 arms. Okay? And so if we look at this, we'll notice there's an empty family member. Grandma's collage would look something similar to this. The only thing that could maybe change is maybe where we place this family member. And that's only because if you notice, that family member really doesn't have another body style that he or she matches with. But we'll just leave him there for now. If we were to have another family member, maybe someone whose picture is missing, we can pretty much figure out what that person might look like based off of what we have here.